Stewart Friesen injured in Quebec modified crash. Latest updates. In a shocking turn of events, Stewart Friesen, a prominent figure in Northeast modified racing and a regular competitor in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, sustained serious injuries during a crash on Monday night at the Autodrome Drummond in Quebec. The incident involved multiple vehicles, resulting in Friesen's well-known number 44 modified car flipping over and being struck by other cars on the track. This harrowing accident has raised concerns among fans and fellow racers alike. Jessica Friesen, Stewart's wife and an accomplished racer in her own right, took to social media to provide updates on his condition. She shared, "As many of you are aware, Stewart was involved in a multi-car accident at Autodrome Drummond last night. Thankfully, the CT scans have shown no injuries to his head, neck, or spine. However, he's experiencing significant pain." She went on to explain the severity of his injuries. Stewart has an unstable or open book pelvic fracture, which means his pelvis has broken in 2 or more locations, accompanied by a large hematoma in that area. Additionally, he has a fractured right leg. Both injuries will necessitate surgical intervention. This morning, he was moved to a larger hospital to undergo these procedures. Friesen, who has an impressive record of over 400 short-track victories throughout his career, is currently 42 years old and competes full-time in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Earlier this year, he secured a spot in the Truck Series playoffs by clinching victory at Michigan International Speedway in June while driving his Halmar Friesen Racing number 52. This incident not only highlights the dangers of motorsport, but also raises questions about safety measures in racing. What are your thoughts on the current safety protocols in place? Do you believe they are sufficient to protect drivers like Stewart? Share your opinions in the comments below. NASCAR driver Stewart Friesen hospitalized after fiery crash at Autodrome Drummond. Imagine being behind the wheel of a racing car, speeding down the track at breakneck velocities, when suddenly, disaster strikes, and your vehicle is engulfed in flames. This is exactly what happened to NASCAR driver Stewart Friesen, who was involved in a horrific crash at the Autodrome Drummond race in Drummondville, Quebec. But here's where it gets really intense. Friesen, the reigning champion of the Super Dirt Week, was racing in the top 5 on lap 17 when his car started to go over the berm and then hit the outside wall, sending him flipping through the air like a toy. The collision was so severe that it ignited a flame, and as his car was about to come back down to the track, another dirt car ran into him, removing most of the bodywork and leaving just the chassis. Thankfully, no other drivers hit Friesen as his car came to rest, and the quick-thinking EMTs at the track were able to come to his aid. But what's really interesting is that the Super Dirt Car Series officials and first responders received the same medical emergency training as NASCAR and IndyCar safety officials, which undoubtedly helped save Friesen's life. As the news of the crash spread like wildfire, fans and fellow drivers alike were left holding their breath, waiting for updates on Friesen's condition. And this is the part most people miss: the importance of proper medical training and emergency preparedness in the high-stakes world of racing. On Tuesday morning, Friesen took to social media to announce that his CT scans had come back clear of any head, neck, and spinal injuries, which was a huge relief to his fans. However, he was still in a lot of pain and had suffered an unstable, open-book pelvic fracture, meaning his pelvis was broken in 2 or more places, as well as a fractured right leg. These injuries were serious enough to require surgical procedures, and Friesen was transferred to a larger hospital for treatment. Now, here's a question for our readers. Do you think the risks involved in racing are worth the thrill of the sport? Should drivers be required to undergo even more rigorous safety training? Or are the current measures sufficient? Let us know in the comments. As for Friesen, he's having one of his best years in the NASCAR Truck Series. Currently 7th in the playoff picture, with a win on the season at Michigan International Speedway last month in June. But as he recovers from his injuries, one can't help but wonder, will he be able to bounce back from this devastating crash and continue his winning streak? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure: the racing community will be rooting for him every step of the way. So what do you think? Can Friesen make a full recovery and get back to his winning ways? Or will this crash be a major setback for his career? Share your thoughts and let's get the conversation started. NASCAR driver's terrifying crash. Stewart Friesen's vehicle catches fire. Imagine being behind the wheel of a speeding car, feeling the rush of adrenaline as you take a sharp turn, and then, in a split second, your vehicle is airborne and engulfed in flames. This is exactly what happened to NASCAR driver Stewart Friesen during a recent Super Dirt Car Series race in Canada. The incident has left many in the racing community shaken and wondering how such a terrifying crash could occur. But here's where it gets even more astonishing. Friesen's vehicle caught fire after he hit the outside wall and flipped in the air, a scenario that could have had devastating consequences. Fortunately, he was able to communicate with safety officials as he was taken to a nearby hospital, a testament to the quick response of the medical team. As the news of the crash spread, fans and fellow drivers alike were left holding their breath, waiting for updates on Friesen's condition. And this is the part most people miss. The sheer force of the impact and the subsequent fire could have resulted in much more severe injuries, highlighting the importance of safety measures in racing. According to the Super Dirt Car Series website, Friesen's wife, Jessica, released a statement early Tuesday morning, revealing that CT scans had cleared him of any head, neck, or spine injuries, but he was still in a tremendous amount of pain. The statement also disclosed that Friesen suffered an unstable, open-book pelvic fracture, meaning his pelvis was broken in 2 or more places, with a large hematoma on the area, as well as a fractured right leg, both of which will require surgery. As Friesen undergoes treatment and recovery, the racing community is coming together to offer support and well wishes. But controversy surrounds the safety of dirt track racing, with some arguing that the sport is inherently dangerous and that more needs to be done to protect drivers. Others claim that the risks are part of the sport and that drivers know what they're getting into. So we have to ask, what do you think? Should dirt track racing be subject to stricter safety regulations, or do the benefits of the sport outweigh the risks? Let us know in the comments. As we wait for Friesen's recovery and return to the track, one thing is certain. The incident has sparked a crucial conversation about safety in racing, and it's a discussion that's far from over. With Friesen's impressive track record, including 1 win and 3 top 5 finishes this year, his fans are eagerly awaiting his comeback. In the meantime, we'll be keeping a close eye on the developments in the racing world and the ongoing debate about safety measures. So, stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to follow Fox News Digital sports coverage for the latest news and analysis. Ryan Gatos, a senior editor for Fox News Digital, will be keeping you informed about all things sports, including the latest on Stewart Friesen's recovery and the world of NASCAR.